Welcome to the DEEPERcast. This is Jason.
This is Jason number 2.
No, you did it wrong. Anyway, we are going to remind you about our overnighter coming April 3. And where are we going?
Tokens.
And what are we doing?
Playing games, laser tag, mini golf, eating pizza.
And drinking lots of soda. The time is 8 p.m. to 8 a.m.
8 to 8.
8 to 8. Bring, how much money should they bring?
How much money? $15. Monica's signaling me.
To help pay for the pizza and pop and the arcade games.
$15.
Not bad.
$15.
Anyway, what we've been talking about this year in 2009, we've been going over all the stuff we've been growing up learning but don't really ever think about. For example,
Beatitude.
Good, Jason.
And then the Ten Commandments, and then the Lord's Prayer.
And we just did the Lord's Prayer. And the next one, are you going to tell them, or is it going to be a surprise?
No, they can, if they want to read up, they can. In fact, they'll probably get more points if they do.
Ooh, point.
The next one is Fruits of the Spirit.
Fruits of the Spirit.
Found in Galatians 5:22.
And I believe every team is within 1,000 points of each other. Like, it kind of got closer this past round of games, so it's anyone's game.
So this week, we're going to play Family Feud on March 22, and all of our categories will have to do with either Fruits of the Spirit or subjects we've covered in the past. So today we have a News of the Weird story for every subject we've covered in the past,
Sweet.
Plus the one coming up, and Monica hasn't read any of these.
I love weird news stories.
So what was the first topic we did? Beatitudes?
Beatitudes.
Okay, so that's about being what?
Blessed.
Blessed. So here's
Blessed
your...
are all these people.
Here's your story. This is about a man who feels blessed in life, and we read about all the real reasons.
That people are blessed.
Right. The poor are blessed. The mourning are blessed.
The meek.
The meek. Pittsburgh. Dick Shields made the Pittsburgh newspapers on his 75th birthday on January 11th for his remarkable recuperative powers. Among the medical traumas from which he has recovered in his life, Monica, he was in a coma near death for a week after his appendix burst. He's broken his neck 3 times. Once while falling out of bed during recuperation from a previous broken neck, which I didn't know you could break your neck twice. I would think I would think it'd be broke and then, oh, you broke it worse. But apparently he broke it again. A broken back, triple bypass heart surgery, a grapefruit-sized blockage of a blood vessel, a fungus to date the skin off his feet. I believe you suffer from that as well. And duty during World War II that included hand-marking active landmines. Said Shields, apparently without irony, I'd have to say I've been truly blessed.
Oh my gosh.
That's a pretty positive outlook on life.
Wow.
I get a bad splinter.
Can he still walk?
It doesn't say.
It doesn't say his state of being.
It doesn't
right
say
now.
his skin. It says his skin was eaten off his feet. I don't know. It doesn't say if it's grown back. I would assume it has. That he doesn't just have skeleton feet.
Oh my goodness. I guess you could come out of that saying, man, life sucks. What's going to happen next? Or you can come out of it
life
saying,
sucks, but I'm still alive.
I am still alive. I am truly blessed.
Even though I have skeleton feet. What was the next topic we had?
10 Commandments.
10 Commandments was a hard one. I didn't find one specifically on the 10 Commandments, but I found one about commandments.
Oh.
So apparently in 1988, a new church was formed in Memphis.
Tennessee.
Can you guess in Memphis what the church would be honoring?
Honoring?
Yeah.
You would
Which
guess?
celebrity?
Oh, Elvis.
Elvis Presley, the first Presbyterian Church of Elvis the Divine was formed.
Oh, no.
One of the first things they did was they posted the King's 31 Commandments on the oak doorway. Among some of the commandments, almost all of them had to do with food, and food that must be kept in the house. Like, these were actual commandments that Elvis had.
Really? About food?
About food, because he liked to eat. And if you see pictures of him when he got older, he liked to eat a lot.
Yeah.
One of the commandments, thou shalt eat 6 meals a day.
Oh, my gosh.
And then the rest was pretty much just a list of food that he had to keep in the house. And it didn't, I tried to find a list of all of them, but I didn't. So some of the foods that were listed that must be kept in the house at all times. Unfrozen ground round hamburger. I guess he liked loose meat burgers. Little Debbie fudge brownies.
Oh, of course.
Obviously. Canned sauerkraut.
Sick.
Brown and serve hot rolls. Makes sense, because if you're having that much ground hamburger around, you want rolls put it on.
Yep.
El Producto cigars. And then this was my favorite, which makes sense after you read all the rest. Phenamint laxative gum.
Oh, gross.
Because I would guess if all you were doing was eating a hamburger and Little Debbie fudge brownies
with
and canned sauerkraut,
on it.
you might need a little help.
Ew.
Yeah. And then...
obviously that's a church that does not worship God.
course, the Lord's Prayer. We did. And I don't know how well you know. And there might be some religions that still do this. I think Catholics might still do this. Mm-hmm. Intercessory prayer. You know what that is?
Yeah.
It's when you feel like there's something bad enough in your life you couldn't pray hard enough to overcome it, so you have other people help you.
Yeah.
They pray for you.
You pray on behalf of someone else.
Right, or you pray on behalf of someone else. And in like Martin Luther saying, one of the things that made Martin Luther unhappy was the church was charging, like if you had a relative that died and the church would come and say, well, they were a sinner, they're going to go to hell unless we pray them out, and for this amount of money we'll pray for you to get them out of hell.
That's wrong.
Yeah, so it's not practiced so much anymore, but unless you voluntarily do it for other people.
Well, I mean, I've heard churches talk about interceding on behalf of, but it's not like pay for it.
Right.
The word's still thrown around, but it's not as...
Right.
Yeah, anyway.
It occasionally gets people in trouble because they get so lazy they go, I don't want to pray. I'll let somebody else pray for me. That's where, in olden times, that's where people got in trouble.
Good thing we're not in olden times.
Yeah. So this article says, intercession prayer is proliferating on the internet with the oldest such broker, Unity Church, now a web presence, getting 200,000 requests a year. After a century's operation by mail, they did it for a whole century just by mail, and telephone, they've done 1.3 million prayers for other people who didn't want to pray for themselves. Other websites also handle requests for life-saving miracles, inner peace, and financial recovery. And one, ourprayer.org, quoted in the November New York Times, one person was praying for help on her financial accounting exam, saying, this is my third attempt at this test, and I pray that the Lord will grant me wisdom and a clear mind. Apparently she had to study after that, so she wanted somebody else to keep praying that she'd pass.
Well, yeah. There's a big difference between, like, you pray for me because stuff's going on. And
these are supposed to be sites where you give them your prayer and then you can forget about it.
Yeah, and that's not...
I
think that kind of doesn't make sense.
Like I'm having trouble stabbing people. And I'm tired of praying about it. So, Monica, you pray about it while I'm out stabbing people, and then I'll...
I think if you don't have the desire to pray for it yourself,
I'm out of time.
You really...
I'm out of time.
What?
My days are busy.
Do you really want that thing or problem solved? Like
I do. And prayer can
be
boring.
And if you believed that God really had the power to do that, wouldn't you also pray? That's just silly. People just don't get it.
I guess not.
I have a story. One of my friends, Ashley, was doing like a youth retreat weekend, you know, and she was in a skit, and all she did was sit down, and her back freaked out. She felt like tearing, extreme pain. She couldn't move. And this was on a Friday night, and she went home, was on pain pills, slept pretty much all day Saturday, went to the doctor and everything. The x-rays showed just terrible damage in her lower back, muscles tearing, all this kind of crazy stuff, and I think it was her lower back. Meanwhile, while she's at the doctor resting and sleeping it all off, everyone still at the retreat had been praying for her, interceding, you know?
Good intercessory prayer.
Good intercessory prayer. And she was supposed to do something Sunday morning. She was supposed to give a talk, a little speech to everybody. And she woke up Sunday morning and was like, oh, my pain pills must be really working. And she went to church. She was doing cartwheels. She gave her talk. She went to the doctor Monday morning. Her x-ray was clear as day. The doctor put the x-rays up next to each other. He's like, this is not the same back. I don't know how this is possible.
Intercessory prayer.
Yeah.
We should tell Barack Obama we don't want health care. We want intercessory prayer.
Prayer care. Anyway.
Fruits of the Spirit. I couldn't find anything on the fruits of the Spirit, so I just found a good story about fruit.
Good. Then they'll have to go and read Galatians 5, right?
Galatians 5:22.
Yep.
Francis Reichart, 58, December, Stewart, Florida. Francis inadvertently dislodged a cherry pit 1/2 inch in diameter from his nose during a routine visit to his doctor. Guy had a cherry pit up his nose. Weird, but not completely unheard of.
Right.
He could have been eating cherries in bed, rolled over in the middle of the night, rolled on a cherry pit, whatever.
Does it get weirder?
Listen to this. Reichart said he stuffed cherry pits up his nose to impress playmates when he was a kid, but had not done it since he was 8. He's currently 58. This is 50 years since the last time he'd done it. Reichart's doctor said the pit may be the longest standing object ever discovered in someone's nose. I don't know who keeps those records, but he felt confident that 50 years in your nose...
Was it not getting in the way of his breathing?
Apparently, 50 years later it was, and he hawked it out. It doesn't say how. He says he inadvertently dislodged it, which, accidentally dislodged it.
Oh, no.
So he had a cherry pit in his nose for 50 years.
Gross.
See ya.